In the moment, it feels very real and overwhelming, and then when I go and look back and think about it later, I beat myself up and I wonder, why can't I just be a gentle mom? Why can't I be a gentle parent? But the truth is, I'm not a gentle parent. I am what some would consider a FAFO parent or a logical parent. I'll explain more about that later. So this is not a video where I'm going to tell you that I never, ever, ever, ever yell at my kids, because I do. But over the summer, I dedicated my time to figuring out ways to improve and change my energy, and I discovered one tiny little hack that finally helped me. So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing that hack with you, but first, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Kayla, I'm Fit Mom in the Garage, and we are gonna do a back and bicep workout straight from my Fit Mom routine using just dumbbells. It's not gonna take that much time. I need to do this first before I do any momming, because if I work out, I have more patience, I am a better human, therefore I am a better mom. In this back and bicep routine, I start off with alternating renegade rows. On this day, I felt like I could go a little extra, so I put the push-up in between each row. Really, this is my warm-up exercise, or the exercise that I'm using to pre-fatigue my lats and my back and my bicep muscles before I get into the actual exercises. The reason that I do this is to keep my workouts short and effective. I'm not going to have to lift as much weight if I pre-fatigue or pre-exhaust my muscles ahead of time. So that's what these alternating renegade rows are doing. Next, I move on to bent over rows. On this particular day, I actually felt really good, so I went ahead and did what's called a drop set, which means that you start your set with a heavy weight. I did 6 reps, and then another 6 reps with a lighter weight, and another 6 reps with an even lighter weight. So I ended up doing 18 reps in this set, but 3 different weights. Again, this is just to go along with the idea of pre-exhausting the muscles that I am trying to work. I really wanted to get a lot of blood pumping into my lats. That way, when I move on to the next exercise, which is dumbbell lat pullovers, I don't have to do so much weight to get this movement to really be effective. So I really only needed about 15 pounds to make this exercise work. I actually was struggling on the next exercise, which is bent over rear delt flies. I usually do this exercise on a bench, just bent over with the dumbbells under my legs. But today, for some reason, I was having a really hard time activating my rear delts, the back of my shoulders. On my next set, I laid face down on the bench and tried to activate my rear delts that way. It worked much better for me like this. I don't always have to do it like this, but looking back on the footage now, I realized that I was pre-fatigued enough that I probably should have just dropped weight and gone lighter with this movement, and I would have been able to activate my rear delts better. I finish up this routine with a short little bicep circuit. It doesn't take much for me to get a good bicep pump, and when I only have about 30 minutes to do my workout anyway, at this point I'm kind of just done. So in my Fit Mom routine, I lay it out as 2 separate exercises, but today I actually combined them, starting with the alternating inward dumbbell curls, and then immediately supersetting that with the wide dumbbell curls. A superset just means that you do 2 exercises back to back with no rest. The beauty about having a plan is that you can modify and tweak it in the moment so easily. And that's it. If you're curious about this Fit Mom routine, it only uses dumbbells. It only takes about 30 minutes. I have it linked down below if you want to grab it. I printed it out and it lives above my dumbbell rack for days like this, when I'm short on time and I just want to move quickly. It definitely helps me as a human being to get my workout in. Most days I look forward to it because I know that it's gonna make me feel better Even if I don't want to do it, I'm going to have way more patience on days that I work out versus days that I don't. And I'm going to be a more thoughtful human. I'm going to have more brain capacity to do all of the things required of me as a mom. So therefore, when I work out, I'm a better mom. I'm a more patient mom. However, this doesn't mean that I never yell. It is so human and completely normal to get frustrated and highly annoyed by the tiny little people that you spend every moment of every day with. I mentioned earlier that I am not a gentle parent. As much as I tried to be, I'm just not. I like to consider myself a logical parent, but I've also heard the term lately a FAFO parent, which we say is a fiddle around and find out parent. Other people have other ways of saying it, which I will not say here for the sake of teaching my toddler not to say bad words. Fill in the blanks. As a logical parent or a FAFO parent, I allow my kids to make mistakes and suffer the natural or logical consequences within reason. For example, if you stay up late, you'll probably be tired the next day. Or if you ride your bike too fast around a corner, you'll probably fall down. Or if you spill milk, you have to wipe it up. But sometimes there's scenarios where there is no immediate consequence or natural consequence, or it becomes necessary for an adult or me, the parent, to come step in. Usually, this is where I would probably yell. Not probably, this is where I yell. Typically, it sounds something like, "Why did you hit your brother? You don't listen to me. You're not following directions." And it's not that nice. It probably sounds a lot worse than that. But here's the trick that I've been using when I can remember that has almost cured me of yelling at my kids for silly things like not following directions. Instead of yelling, from now on, I'm saying, do 10 push-ups. Let me give you an example. My 9-year-old, my oldest, notoriously makes doing our homeschool bookwork exhausting. He argues about every single page. I ask him to take it out and it's an argument. It's a fit. It's like a toddler fit every single time. Like I've never asked him to take out bookwork every single day for 5 years before. It's exhausting, like I said. And I get it. Bookwork is boring. And there's so many other things that we could be doing other than bookwork. But I also really do believe that there are things in life that you just have to do whether you like them or not. And I tell my kids this all the time. You don't have to like it, but you have to do it. Like wiping your butt or brushing your teeth. Like I don't like to do those things, but I have to. So when this happens, I say, it's time to do your bookwork. And he starts whining and arguing with me. From now on, I just say, do 10 push-ups. And he will usually continue to argue and whine about that. No, I didn't mean. Now it's 15 push-ups. And I will keep going in that moment until he realizes that the consequence for arguing with me about something that he has to do is more and more push-ups. It usually takes him to about 20 or 25, and then he's on the floor doing his push-ups. Now, there are some times that this just does not work, especially with my middle. He does not care about consequences. So I have learned to reinforce all of this with computer time. If I get to the point where I'm dishing out 30 push-ups, 40 push-ups, and it seems excessive, then I go straight to, if you do not do this consequence, which is 20 push-ups or 10 push-ups, I will start taking away computer time. And I give computer time as a reward for getting all of their things done. Chores, schoolwork, independent bookwork. They get 1 hour of computer time a day. And if they choose to make things difficult, the consequence is either push-ups or less computer time. Usually they will choose push-ups. And it even works for my toddler. Obviously it needs to be adjusted to his ability, but he's pretty strong and can keep up with his brother, so 5 or 10 push-ups is not a terrible consequence for him. He has a very difficult time staying in his chair at the dinner table, along with all the rest of them. They all have a hard time sitting at the table for some reason. If they get up out of their chair, they have to do 10 push-ups before whatever it is they need to do. Use the bathroom, fill up their water, get an extra fork or another paper towel. You name it, they're always out of their chair. So it works for all our boys, 3, 6, and 9. Now, the part that I've recently implemented is that this goes both ways. It's a two-way street. If I'm dishing out push-ups for bad behavior, yelling, hitting, biting, you name it, then I should also be held accountable for yelling, the thing that I don't want to do. So if I yell, I have to do push-ups as well. And it levels the playing field for all of us. And my kids actually really like holding me accountable, just like I do them. It really gives them just as much power as I have. And I think it makes them feel really important. A very common question I'm getting about this is, aren't you afraid that giving push-ups as consequences are gonna give them a negative association with fitness? And the answer is no, I'm not. Number one, the act of stopping the argument or whatever it is and doing the push-ups is like a mini timeout. And this is actually a very effective timeout, because while you're doing your push-ups, you get a chance to do what everyone says to do, which is breathe. Stop and breathe. Which I actually find that kind of information not helpful and very frustrating. It's like going to the doctor and the doctor saying that you need to lose weight. And when you ask, how do I do that? They just say diet and exercise. Like, thanks doc, that was specific. Now what? So just telling parents to calm down, take a deep breath, pause is so hard to do, because when you're in that moment, it's rage. It's like a volcano, it just erupts, it comes out of you. It's so hard to stop it. But taking the time to do the push-ups, I have to breathe 10 times at least. It also leads me to number 2, which is it gives us a moment to stop and reflect on the actual issue. Did I really need to yell in that moment? Or did they really need to hit their brother? Or was there a better way? It gives you at least 10 seconds to reflect on what went wrong and then come up with a better strategy. And number 3, I would rather have my kids have a negative association with push-ups than with me, their mother, and their childhood. I don't want my kids' childhood to be remembered as mommy always yelling, and I don't want to remember my motherhood as always yelling at my kids. So if their negative association is with push-ups, so be it. Doesn't everyone hate push-ups anyway? I don't know anyone who likes push-ups. Lastly, number 4, as the bonus, we are all getting fitter. I think that's a win-win. It's working so well for us. It's not perfect. I do still yell, but at least when I do, I'm showing my kids that it was a mistake, and I'm willing to do the same thing that I ask of them. I will get down and I will do the same push-ups that they have to do for not following directions, hitting their brothers, yelling, you name it. I'll do the same thing. And because this is really working for us, I wanted to share it with you too. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like. I talk a lot more about all things fitness, motherhood, and homeschooling over on Instagram. I'm fitmominthegarage, so make sure you stop by there and say hi. If you missed last week's video, I showed you my super easy ab routine, and I did it all while my kids were climbing all over me like a jungle gym. So if anything, it's just entertaining to watch. But there's some really good nuggets in there. I'll make sure that that video is linked too. As always, my Fit Mom routine is linked below. You can grab it, print it out, hang it above your dumbbell rack. That's where mine lives. And next week, I'll be showing you my unrealistic mom routine, my real midday workout. So make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss that. Thanks so much for being here and watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.